We are on the edge of a shift so massive, it's going to completely redefine what it means to be human. And look, this isn't about better phones or faster computers. We're talking about artificial organs, things like neural implants, AI-powered reasoning modules, all of it, and how this tech is about to change our identity, our society, and maybe even the course of evolution itself.
So let's just start with this one big question, just to frame everything. What if technology was no longer something you hold in your hand, but something you are? I mean, this isn't some far-off science fiction plot anymore. This is the new reality we really need to get our heads around. Think about it. For all of human history, our tech has basically been a tool. A hammer is external, right? You pick it up, you put it down. Your glasses are optional. They help you do things. But artificial organs? They're a whole different ballgame. They're integrated inside you. Sometimes they're necessary just to function. And they don't just amplify what you do, they become a part of you. That line between the user and the tool, it's pretty much dissolving right before our eyes.
And there's actually a term for this massive shift, technological organogenesis. It's just a fancy way of saying it's the process where tech stops being an outside tool and becomes a real, functional, integrated organ. I mean, try to imagine an AI-linked reasoning module being just as much a part of you as your own liver. Sounds wild, right? Well, that's the world we're stepping into.
So, okay, what does this do to our sense of self, our identity? Well, it creates this really strange new idea of a self on demand.
Up until now, our identity has been built on a bedrock of continuity. Your heart, your lungs, your brain, they're always on, right? They don't take a coffee break. And it's that constant biological persistence that gives us a stable, continuous sense of being me. You feel like the same person from one moment to the next, totally uninterrupted. But this new technology completely shatters that continuity. The self can now be, well, modular. You could literally activate an AI reasoning module to help with a tough problem at work, giving you this incredible situational ability, and then just turn it off when you're done. Your identity becomes state-dependent. You're not one person anymore. You're a series of different selves that you can switch between. But of course, this modularity comes with a huge risk. The source material puts it perfectly with this warning. Extension without integration leads to self-dilution rather than enhancement. So what does that really mean? It means if these new powers aren't woven into your core being, your emotions, your life story, you don't just become more. You actually risk becoming less coherent, just a collection of cool features with no stable you at the center of it all. And this problem, it doesn't just stop with the individual. It scales up. The risk isn't just personal fragmentation, it's a societal fracture, a split unlike anything we've ever seen before. It creates what the experts are calling a new ontological divide. Now, this is not your typical economic inequality. This is something much deeper, defined as ontological inequality. We're talking about a gap based on fundamental differences in how people perceive reality, how they think, and even what they are. It's not about who has more money. It's about who is running a completely different operating system for reality itself. And you can see just how big a problem this could be. Imagine an augmented human with incredible cognitive speed and a huge perceptual range trying to talk to a baseline human. The source calls what happens a social strain gradient. It's like a high-pressure weather system slamming into a low-pressure one. You don't get smooth communication, you get turbulence. And things we take for granted like empathy, shared understanding, even trust, they can just start to completely break down. And the implications here, they just keep getting bigger, all the way up to evolution itself. I mean, if we can fundamentally change our own bodies and minds, we're not just being passively shaped by natural selection anymore. We are actively entering an era of evolution by will. Classical natural selection, right? It's the slow, blind process. It's just random changes, and whatever fails gets eliminated. But what we're talking about now is anticipatory selection. We can deliberately design our own traits, run simulations to see how they'll work out, and then implement them at a speed that would have made Darwin's head spin. We are literally taking the steering wheel of our own evolutionary future. But, and this is a really critical point, we can't just ignore the rules of the universe. Balance laws still apply. An augmentation that makes you a super genius, but also psychologically unstable, that's an evolutionary dead end. An implant that makes you incredibly powerful but causes everyone to reject you, that's a failed experiment. At the end of the day, failure is still the ultimate filter. So where does all this go? Well, the thinking is, we're not going to get one single future human. We're probably looking at a divergence, a split into different branches of humanity. You might have the coherent augmenters, who carefully integrate their tech. Then you'll have the fragmented optimizers, who just chase maximum power no matter the cost. And of course, you'll have the baseline conservators, who just opt out of the whole thing. The real game of selection will be playing out between these different groups. So in this brave new world, what does survival of the fittest actually mean? The answer completely redefines the entire concept. This is really the ultimate fitness test. The new measure of fitness is this idea of continuity competence. It's got nothing to do with who has the fastest brain processor or the best bionic eyes. It's the ability to integrate all these powerful augmentations without losing yourself. It's about being able to maintain a coherent life story, a sense of responsibility, and a stable identity through all these radical changes. So, the fittest people and the fittest societies will be the ones who master these skills. But notice something amazing here. One of the key traits is the ability to downregulate your own enhancements just to get along with other people. How wild is that? In this new evolutionary landscape, restraint becomes a superpower. Coherence is the new strength. And when you put all of this together, you land on this truly profound idea. Humanity isn't just another species anymore. We've become what the source calls a high-gain continuity amplifier. Basically, we are the part of the universe that has become self-aware, the part that can model its own future and accelerate its own development. We've become a sensitive, high-stakes experiment for existence itself. And that leaves us with this incredible final thought. It just reframes our entire place in the cosmos. Humans are not the executioners of existence, nor its masters. They are its most sensitive experiment. The big question for all of us is, what kind of outcome will our experiment produce?